Hey guys, welcome back. I am Laura. I am going to be working on my January budget setup. So in my planner, I have 3 sections. This is my budget section, which is not done yet. I kind of have some pages thrown in here for cash envelopes. I have just some random stuff in here, but I don't really have it set up to what I want yet. So my plan this year is to do a few things. So one, I have this teacher planner that I got for like $2 maybe in September when all the teaching stuff was on sale. I bought it. I am a teacher. I bought a lot of these being a teacher and I just never use them. It's just not something I probably will ever use. So having tons of these, I have decided that I'm going to use just the month divider part, the divider and the month pages to help lay out my budget for January. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out my January. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the rest of that. I have some notebook paper here because I'm debating on whether or not to use this. I'm going to go ahead and stick that to the side. And then I also have my undated finance budget planner pages. Not a fan. I also don't like dating things myself, or I could just use these, but I'm not a huge fan of these. I don't mind them. I don't dislike them. I'm not a fan. So I love the bill pay checklist here. Unfortunately, I feel like it's just a little too small for the amount of bills that we have in my family. This would probably cover a majority of them, but not all of them. So unfortunately, if it went all the way down, it'd probably be perfect, but it doesn't. However, this is still good for keeping track of expenses throughout the month. So I do think this side might be usable. So I'm going to keep one of those. I'm actually going to get one though that does not have the bill pay on the other side, just in case I decide to use those later. We live off of cash, so there is no reason for me to really use, I think this one's empty. I think I was using this one. There's no reason for me to really have more than one of these because we do a pretty good job living cash only. So I'm going to go ahead and put that page to the side right now. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tape in that page to this page. And this is just a Tombow dot adhesive. I don't know what the difference is. I think it was on sale and I bought it. So I also like, I don't know if everybody does this, but I have to have it on the little tabs there because that's the part that falls apart the most for me when I am adhering 2 pages together. Okay, so now I'm going to take the expense tracker side and I'm just going to put them together. And I'm going to try lining up the punches first, which I feel like they never line up. I don't think it really ever matters, but the punches I feel are way more important to line up than the paper because I can already see, if you look down here at the bottom, I've got a pretty good amount, and over here I have a pretty good amount, but the holes are all lined up perfectly. So you do with it what you want to do. So this will be my expense tracker for the month of January. If you need to add more, add more. Put another one of those pages in there. This is just what's going to work for my family, and I will keep track of any of our unexpected expenses per se. All right, so now I've got this here. Now I did have somewhere I had my whole month, which I don't want to show you my finances for the whole month, but somewhere I did have it laid out. At least I thought it. There we go. Okay, so I do have it on a page here. I'm going to yank this out. So on a spreadsheet, I do print out all of my monthly expenses, and I have them the day that they are due. If it falls on, like, Martin Luther King Jr. Day is going to be a holiday, we don't have school, banks are clearly closed, I usually just move it to the day before or the day after, because that's when it'll probably come out. But we only get 2 paychecks a month. My husband and I both get paid the same time. So we both bi-weekly, it just falls on the same pay, and it's kind of a pain, but it is what it is. So the first thing I'm going to do, I have Bold School for boxes over here. I have my boxes, books, I have all the things, but I do not see my, this is what I want, my check it off list, checker thingy. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go and I'm just gonna kind of mark out just a little line here. So all my boxes will kind of line up. So I'm gonna go through and do that real quick. I'm also gonna get rid of these lines down here. So real quick, I'm gonna show you. I just use a jelly roll and color right on top of this diagonal. I really wish it went horizontally instead of diagonally. I think it's weird. Can't really fit anything in these boxes. I'd rather have half the box than none of the box, which I feel like is what I have here. So I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna white that out, and I'm gonna add in some lines, and I will be right back. All right, so I went in and I added my guidelines and I whited out these sections, and I will add in my lines going horizontally in a minute. I got a big box here because I wanted to mark in this date here is marks that we are a month out from a family vacation. So I kind of felt like that was an important thing to kind of mark in here, because financially, that's kind of when we really need to be buckling down and making sure that we have everything saved that needs to be saved, because we are getting closer. And as the way our pay falls, that's pretty important. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go into my colorful boxes here, and I'm going to go ahead and grab a sheet of these littler boxes. So I've got my bills off to the side over here, and I know that on the 1st, I have 4 bills that are due, one of which I pay at the end of the month. So it ends up falling down here. So I'm only going to put 3 boxes, and I'm just going to go ahead and do it multicolored. So I'm just going to pick, drop that one. I'm just going to go ahead and pick a couple colorful boxes. I'm going to use my guideline. That just helps it so it keeps them, like, all my lines nice and straight, and it doesn't bother me as much, I guess, that they're, you know, not perfectly lined up. It just kind of helps me personally. That's, you don't have to be that deep. Let me grab a pink one just for a little bit of a color change here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and fast forward, and I'm going to go through and I'm just going to mark in anywhere that there is an expense, bill, school, any sort of financial payments, any like Netflix, Hulu, things like that, anywhere that something is going to come out of my bank account because it has to be paid, I'm going to go ahead and put in a box, one of these boxes, anywhere on their due dates. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I will be right back. All right, so I went in, marked in all of those. I am missing a couple bills. Any of my paydays, there is actually another bill that comes out. So what I need to do is find my Payday stickers. Here I have some Planner Kate colorful Payday stickers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in right now, and I'm going to mark in my 4 paydays, and you could do them however you want. And also, if you don't have the stickers, just use a line, just write them in, just pencil them in. But for me, the more adorable, colorful, fun, whatever this is, the more I tend to stick with budgeting. It's a little easier, and I'm not somebody who's I don't know how to word this. I won't say I have trouble budgeting, but my husband does. So it comes a lot harder when he doesn't know what is going when and where. I deal with all the bills, I deal with the budget, I deal with all of it. So this way I could literally sit it down in front of him and be like, look, we have, 19 things that need to be paid. Deal with it, like it's just easier for me. Oh my gosh, these are old. Like probably super old would be my guess, because they've lost their sticky. I want colored ones. I don't have yellow on here, but I feel like yellow needs to come hang out with us. So these are the 4 pays that we will get. So he gets paid on Wednesdays, super random. And I get paid on Fridays. And let's do no, purple is already there. Let's do the green. Did I do a green? I did not. Let's grab a green box or triangle, I guess. These are just weird. Okay. Well, and then I threw the sticker with the paper. I threw that to the side and the sticker went with it. All right, so here is this. So let me know what your favorite way of budgeting is. Like, are you the primary budgeter? Do you have multiple people to budget for? Like, how does it work for you? So there currently are all of my pay periods are now marked in. Those are marked in. And then remember, I said I do have an extra, my husband, we have these automatic medical bills that do come out on our paydays. And I put on my sheet that they come out bi-weekly because I didn't quite know where my pays were going to fall. I knew they were changing. I just didn't know how. So I'm going to go in now and I'm just going to drop in a second box on each payday because they already have boxes. This one, I'm just going to move it over one because it's not quite going to fit with everything else I have going on in there. So I'm going to move it, but I do want to put it in. I'm going to put it in, and honestly, I could move it over here to the Saturday because it doesn't come out, I believe, until the Monday. When I talked to them, they had kind of altered stuff on their end, so that way the bills they came out the following Monday. So if I have it on a Friday, it doesn't come out until the following Monday. So I could put it on Saturday. I just like to be very close to the actual due date or right on the due date for pre-budgeting reasons. Let's grab this blue. Even though it's like nowhere else in this spread. Let's throw it down. All right, so there's literally all my stuff. And I will go in and mark in the name and the amount of my bills, but I have other things I want to do first. So now I've got the Bright budget and I have Gold Star quotes. And I just wanted to use those to kind of, I don't know, not really decorate it more, but kind of give myself some motivation, I guess. Like pinch those pennies is really cute. Over here on the sidebar, I usually have a checklist of what's due. I don't know if I'm going to do that this year. In the past, I didn't do it in here like this because we got paid every week. It was a little easier for my family. And I just had one print out over here of just to check off, when things were paid. But I think what I'm going to do, and this is just going to be a trial for this month, see if I like it before I, hop into next month, is I'm going to use my checklist and I'm going to go in and just put a check box in each rectangle. So that way when it's paid, I can, just go in and check off in there. And then this is it's such an easier way to see what is due for the month. Like, this is so much easier for me. So I know for a fact, no matter what, that everything that falls in here needs to be paid to the 19th. So these 2 pays have to cover every single bill up till here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put in my little checkbox on all of my colorful boxes. And then I will start adding in the names of my bills. So I'm going to go ahead and fast forward through that. Feel free to skip ahead or join me if you're going to try to budget out with me this way. But I'm going to go ahead and do that and I will be back. All right, so what I did was I went in and I put in all of the totals. Now remember, I do have a master list that tells me exactly what the bill is, but this way I have my totals laid out so I can mathematically go in and figure out what I need to have financially up to payday number 2. So the next step would be, and you could use a big box for these if you want. We could use these right here. I think I'm gonna go and see if there's a blue one. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tally out, yeah, I wanted one with lines. So I'm gonna grab this blue box and I'm gonna be on this side. So I'm gonna go ahead and put paycheck 1. And let's leave like a little gap here. I'm gonna do I'm going paycheck 1, paycheck 2, when really it's paycheck 1, 2, and paycheck 3, 4. But it's just easier for me to do 1 and just like start my bills on Friday per se, and 2. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab a purple box so I can separate paycheck 1 and paycheck 2. And I will try to find a sticker or something, or I'll just write up there and label 1 and 2. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is on these, I'm going to put in what my actual monthly income is and then what my outgoing, like my bills that we, for 110% know are going to be out. So my total income for paycheck, well, for both paychecks, it really doesn't matter which one, is 27. So this is my husband and mine added together, is going to be 2721 and 7 cents. So that is our total incoming for the 5/7 paycheck. So now I just need to go through and calculate up all of this all the way up to, not counting the 19th, but all the way, anything that's going to need to be paid up to the 19th. And then I'll just kind of do the math on that. So I'm going to go ahead and do, again, down here, the total income. And if we had anything extra, like, I don't know, let's just say we had like that child tax credit that will no longer exist come January. If we had that, then I would put, you know, maybe like that additional $250, whichever it would have fallen on the first one, so I could add that extra $250. And if you have any extra income coming in from any other places, maybe this is your primary income and you have like a secondary income, whatever works for you to mark down what your actual total incoming income is. We don't have anything coming from anywhere else. We don't get payments from anybody else. This is just strictly what my husband and I make bi-weekly. So that is the total that will go there. That is the total that will go there. It's always going to be the same unless one of us gets a raise, or like come January, I dropped some insurance because we go through my husband's insurance. I don't think that will kick in. It may kick in this pay, but I kind of think it doesn't really kick in until my February pay. So the pay should go up just a small amount because I dropped just a couple things that we were double insured on, and it just didn't really seem necessary to keep those as of, you know, right now. Saving is a little more important than being double insured when we've been double insured for 5 years and it hasn't benefited us in any way. So I kind of dropped some of those. So that will probably and possibly could change here. I did pencil in some amounts. I went on the higher end and just guessed because these literally were just paid. So I don't really know what the actual amount is until probably like the middle of the month, and then those can be marked in a more permanent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and calculate up all of my bill totals up to the 18th because the 19th is a payday. So these will come out of this chunk of pay. This box again was just to remind me that we had a vacation, so I'll decorate that later. It's nothing bill related. It was just to remind me that, you know, buckle down. We're getting to that point where we're 30 days out as of this date from travel. So let me go ahead and calculate those up, and then I'll show you what I put in on the sidebar. Okay, so I went through and I added them up. So up here I have my total incoming, total outgoing, total incoming, total outgoing on both. Now I did put that in pencil because I don't know if anybody else has I've noticed this with Tombow mono correction tape, is that I have to let it dry for my pen to show up nicely. If I don't, my pen lines are like super, super thin, which is super weird. So I put it in pencil. The first time I messed up, I accidentally did not do the 16th and 17th. So it was off. So I'm going to go ahead now, and I've got my, you know, my plus minus area here. So I'm going to go ahead and calculate out what that total will be and what this total will be. And this is only bills. This is not counting any of my budget for groceries, gas, allowances, anything like that. So we are going to go ahead. So right up here, we have a total of $761.62 left. So $761.62. And then down here, I'll put this over here. 272107 minus 95263. So we have a total of 17,1768.44 remaining. So that's what we have left up here, and that's what we have left down here. Now, I have to take into account that we are now on a bi-weekly lifestyle here. It's not weekly. So weekly, I was paying for our family of 3, $100 for groceries. We had a $50 budget, let's just say like allowance for my husband to spend. I didn't spend anything, but he does golf during the summer times, like the warmer months. He does drink with the neighbors and hang out and have people over. So it's kind of more of like a weekly beer budget per se. If we don't do that, we will always go over. I get 50 as well. I just choose not to use it. And then we do need 20 each for gas in a week. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to double that. So we have 100 for 2 weeks. So we're going to need 200 for groceries. We are going to need 100 for, we'll call it the beer budget. And then we're going to need 80 for our gas. So him and I would both get 40 to cover that bi-weekly. So we're talking an additional 380 that will come out for miscellaneous. I just call it miscellaneous expenses. You could title it kind of whatever you want, but we're going to take out that additional 380, and it'll be the same. Right now, I'm only going to do it up here for the fact that this is new. My December, we have been paid weekly. As of right now, we are going 3 weeks without a paycheck because my pay period changed. So, we're going to try everything out up here. Maybe we don't need $200 for 2 weeks worth of groceries. I haven't started. I've been on the keto life for about 6 months. My husband eats keto when at home, but doesn't eat keto away. So our grocery bill is really small. My son is obsessed with, I added those together. My son is obsessed with ramen noodles, parenting fail. I let him eat them. If that's what he wants to eat, kid weighs nothing. It's just, if that's what he wants, that's what he gets. Chicken nuggets, ramen noodles. So it looks like right now total left, because again, we will not live beyond that 380. This month, or this paycheck, we may, again, trial and error. This is our first paycheck. Alter your budget so it works for you, so that way you're not on a struggle bus. So right now this leaves us with $381.62 until the following pay period. So I will take from that 381 probably 200 and add it to our vacation budget, leaving us 181 as like a buffer. And then when that 181 is not touched, then that 181 will go into our vacation. So I'm just going to put WDW because we are going to Disney World. So that would leave us with the 181 buffer for 2 weeks. And that's just literally in case we need, I don't know, let's just say we get a flat tire. That would give us just that little buffer just in case. that we need. So that would be my $181.62 buffer. And then obviously over here, I'm hoping that this has very little to nothing written on it for my unaccountables, I guess, things that I'm not accounting for that we end up spending. That way that 181 stays, or at least is as close to staying as it can. So that way I can put that 181 away. And this comes out in cash. This does not stay anywhere in my bank account, because if you're anything like me, if it's there and we know it's there, it'll get used. So it goes away. So I can tentatively, this will probably change, but if I just wanted to kind of do the math, I can take out that 380 for my miscellaneous funds just to, you know, get a roundabout guess on what I will have remaining. So that will leave us with, and this leaves us with quite a bit more at the end of the month and at the beginning of the month. And that's just because that's how our bills have always fallen. So we would have this much remaining after everything is said and done. So with that being said, we would probably put 1,200, leaving 188 again. So we would probably put 1,200 away. For this instance, this will go again to our vacation fund. But if we were not going on a vacation, that's savings. That right there just goes directly to savings. And that helps us kind of grow our savings a lot faster. Or if we were going to, like, I have plans to pay off a lot, then it would go to those things. So again, paycheck one, paycheck two, these are just my breakdown, you know, guesstimations of what payments will be. So I hope that you enjoyed budgeting with me today. If so, please like, subscribe, share, give me a thumbs up. I plan to do a big budget like this once a month. But I also plan bi-weekly to do some cash envelope stuffing, because that is how we live currently. So please come visit me for those if you would like. And I hope we can get our budget life on track for this new 2022 year. I can't believe we're at 2022. But we are there. We are going to do it, and we are going to rock it financially. I have some big financial goals that hopefully after February, when my vacation is done, we can totally jump in and start paying down a good majority of our debt and build up our savings account for 2023, because we are going to need new cars in my life, which is like sad. I don't want to get rid of my car, but poor girl is hitting like 200,000 miles. She's like 13 years old. Baby needs to go. But I'm a rider till she dies. That's what I'm going to do, because that's just kind of how it goes. I would like to stay as low on my debt as possible until it's an absolute necessity. So anyway, thanks for joining me. I hope you have a great day. Happy New Year. Enjoy your 2022. And please come back and see me again. Have a great day. Bye, guys.